What's going on, everybody out there all across the land? Of course, you know you're tuned into the number one station on the net, Hotline Radio, and the number one show on the net, the Keith Harris Show. And of course, your guy, Keith Harris. First of all, wish you a wonderful March 20th. A lot of different places, they're calling it the beginning of spring or the first day of spring. Kind of feels like that. It was a little rainy the first part of the day, but hey, either way, we're blessed and happy to be here. And it's Friday, so we're getting off started with a wonderful weekend. And speaking of wonderful weekends, all right, I have an industry giant. She's a master in her craft, as a matter of fact, and I'm very honored to have her on the show with me today, talking to everybody out there all over the world. And of course, this is a big weekend for her as well, and so she's going to be making an announcement also, that we like everybody to stand behind and get involved with. So without any further ado, I'd like to give the drum roll and roll out the red carpet for the owner of Queen of the Now Enterprises, president of Transmedia 360. She's just doing so many different things. Theatrical, project producer, everything you can think of. Miss Nina Womack, how you doing?
Thank you, Keith. It's so wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, absolutely. I've been trying to get you here before. I know you're so busy, so I'm glad you got here, right? So
yes, amen.
Right. Now listen, I know how it is on the go for you. You're doing a lot of stuff. Like I said, you're preparing for what's coming up this weekend, and we'll get into that. But just a quick, brief description of how did you get into this industry? Like, I mean, what was your door in? Is this something you decided you wanted to do, or was it family oriented to bring you in? Or did you grow up watching TV? What did it for you?
Yeah, well, I am a firm believer that we are all made in the image of God, the great creator, and God created all things, and we're made in that image, so we have the ability to create not just one thing, but multiple things. So I started out having this gift at the age of like 4 or 5. I started discovering that I love to create. So my mom put me into acting, and I was a print model and a child actor. As a matter of fact, when I was about 4, she took me on a doctor's appointment in Hollywood to this doctor's office, and we were on the elevator, and there was this agent, 2 agents at the time on the elevator, which were really big agents back then in the early 70s, and they saw me, talking to my mom and interacting with her on the elevator. So they said, "Oh, is your daughter an actress?" And she said, "Yeah, she is." And so then they said, "Well, we would love to sign her up with our agency." And it was just that easy. So I was immediately signed up with their agency, and they sent me out on print work and on television shows. And I did different stage productions as a kid. I got into Screen Actors Guild when I was like 8 years old. So that was just like creating was just something that I loved to do, that just naturally was inside of me. And my mom nurtured that. My mom was also an actress, but she didn't follow through with her dreams, so she became a drama teacher as well as an English teacher. So she did have me in that kind of environment where, the arts was very important to us. She would teach her kids and her students in the inner city schools, theater as well as English, and as a kid she would have me in the classrooms or in the auditorium, like helping out with the productions, helping out with the costumes, running lines with her student actors and so forth. She used to take us to film screenings and stuff. So this has always been a part of my life. And I'm from South Los Angeles, from the hood.
Right.
And it was just a very interesting mix, because I feel like there was a part of me that I'll talk about shortly, where as a teenager I started rebelling and got off into the street life. But I think what inherently took me away from it and got me out of it, so I wasn't in it 100%, was the fact that I had the arts you know, in my background and a mom who cares for me, because I eventually was like, hey, this is not cool. Let me get up out of the streets. There's nothing nice here, and let me return back to my childhood dream, which is the entertainment business. Now, as a kid, what I used to do is, like how some kids might jump over the fence and play with their dolls or go out and be playing ball and stuff. Right. My pastime as a child was writing little skits. Like I would get my little neighborhood friends together and my cousins together and so forth. And then my playtime was writing skits for us, like little commercials and little plays. And I would go into my mom's closet and go take her wardrobe out of her closet and put it on us because we're little kids, so I wanted us to wear these grown-up outfits. And then I would go into her record collection and then listen to different music and say, hey, this song I think would be good for this commercial that we're doing or this little play that we're doing. And I would like pretty much film score. As a kid, I didn't realize that I was just having fun in the world of make-believe, but that is actually what I was doing. Is I was directing, I was writing, I was acting with others, and I was doing the costumes as well as the music and so forth. You know, but it was just fun back then.
So you was doing your own production pretty much from a child. In other words,
from a child, yeah. You know, these numerous productions, and my mom used to videotape. I mean, not videotape, audio tape, because back then was the tape cassette.
Right.
So she would record me, and then sometimes I would like record our stuff. And so there's like I found some tape cassettes of different little things that I put together, like commercials showing variety shows and stuff of me still on a tape cassette. I still have a few of those things. Some stuff got lost, but yeah. So I became, you know, from starting out as a kid, just having fun in the world of make-believe, then I quickly, as a child, got on a professional level where I was actually paid, you know, to do my art. And then what wound up happening is, along the way, I was also sexually abused as a child by various people over the years. And back then, we didn't know to, you know, go and talk to anybody about it. So I was holding that stuff internally. And what it wound up doing is, because I didn't have an outlet, I didn't let it out and tell anybody, is anger and resentment built up inside of me. So I started becoming very angry, and I didn't understand why I was having these feelings. So I literally quit acting. I rebelled against my mom. I rebelled against my agents. They were calling me for auditions as a kid, and I was like, you know, by this time I'm like about 12 years old, and I told my mom, and I would tell them, I'm not going, you know, and I was just a brat and horrible, and I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 13 and smoking weed and drinking, and I turned into a juvenile delinquent and was ditching school a lot and so forth. So I just quit my dream totally, and I was just angry and in the streets, and I didn't understand, you know, why I had these feelings, but I just knew I was angry. So I spent some years, all my teenage years, like not going to school, not being serious about anything, not doing anything in my life, just a whole bunch of negativity with using drugs, and I even sold drugs while I was selling cocaine as a teenager. And then when I was in my early 20s, I started to wonder, like, you know, question, what could I do with my life? And I became, at that time, too, I became a Christian. I was about 21. And so my brothers, I have two brothers and one sister, and they're professionals, and my brothers would be like, you know, Nina, you're a bum. Like, what are you doing with your life? You're not doing anything positive. So I thought about it, and then I decided, well, let me turn back to my childhood dream. And that's what I did. So I went to college. I started at a junior college because I missed a lot of my junior high school and high school years. And in high school, I was in continuation school. And so I went to college. And at this point, I decided that I was ready to, like, change my life around. So I studied theater. And lo and behold, I discovered when I was taking my general education classes as well as my theatrical classes that I was a straight A student. And that, like, surprised me because I used to get all fails, and had like 1D. I had 1D in high school, which I was so proud of that D. And so to go from like fails for years and 1D to finding out that I was like, I could earn straight A's, like I was just amazed.
Right.
And so I was winning, like I started being on the dean's list and getting on the honor roll, and I won the President's Award. And so, yeah, since the age of about 20, my early 20s, I just literally changed my life around, and I've been on the grind, like working at this entertainment business and learning all that I can and, you know, working to be the best me that I can be. And that's what I want to say to people out there that are listening, that if you know of anybody who is troubled, you best believe that they probably have a good reason why they are going through all such anger and all these different problems, and help nurture them. There's a way that they can turn their life around and return to when it was a happy time when they were young, what they loved to do when they were young, you know?
Yeah, you know what, and that's absolutely right, Nina, and part of that, just like you said, is about kind of taking yourself away, not forgetting where you come from, but just kind of taking yourself away and going back into that happy place where where you did accomplish things and where you knew what you were doing positively, and that takes discipline, right?
Yes, definitely. I have read so many, to heal from that dark place. Like I've read self-help books. I've talked to therapists over the years. I've written in journals, I've written a lot of ugly stuff about myself just to like get it out of my system and stuff, and then I started writing positive affirmations about myself and telling myself, hey, you are a winner. You can accomplish your goals. You can do this. If so-and-so, if Oprah Winfrey can do it, if Janet Jackson can be out there, if Beyonce can be out there,
that's right.
Jada Pinkett can be out there, they're no different than you. You can do it. And follow your dreams, and you put the work in and the dedication. Because anybody that's successful, it just didn't happen overnight, or just because, I just want to be successful and that's that. No, you have to pay your dues. You have to put in time. You have to work at your craft, at any craft, whatever you do.
Indeed. Look, I'm so glad you said that to the people out there. And, a lot of people who are trying to come up in this game. Pay your dues. Like you said, pay your dues. Be respectful. Learn your craft and do what you're supposed to do. Listen, before we move on, I had to talk about your play. I had a quick joke for you, right? Were you like a lot of us? Were you like a lot of us where that one good grade you got was in gym?
No, mine was in English. Ironically, that 1D was in English. That's funny.
You know what? Hey, because that's where a lot of ours came from. But I'll say that too. I was the same way too. One of mine was in gym, and one of mine was in English. And you know what? That good grade that you got in English probably helped you. Also, with becoming where you are today, because as we know, English has a lot to do with putting together plays and things like that in the dramatic arts.
Exactly. Right. And and like I said, my mom was an English teacher and a drama teacher, so that came easy. She used to grill us about our diction and stuff. We couldn't say "ain't" in the house, and I'll be going. We couldn't say anything.
Look, that's right. That's one of them good old soulful households right there. Hey, now, look, talking about this, moving forward a little bit, and then we'll go back. But we need to talk about this now. Murder in Thick City. Okay, you've been getting wonderful reviews. A lot of people are waiting on this, waiting on the curtain to open this weekend, Sunday, as a matter of fact, right?
Yes, it is Sunday, March 22nd, from 3 to 5 p.m. at Lavender Blue Restaurant Lounge. And I just want to give a little backstory about that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine and myself, we enjoy going to murder mystery dinner theaters. We have gone a couple of times, my best friend and I. And she's a sister just like me. And one thing about this, that we would enjoy it, but it was always an all-white cast, and it was usually set in a classic time period, like the 1940s or something like that. Right. And although we enjoyed having dinner and seeing the murder mysteries, I would think, I would think to myself, like, wow, it would be cool to see center and see some murder mysteries, but that would be more multicultural and like diverse of the melting pot of America. Like, I'd love to see some black people in it, some other cultures in it. And then also, I would love to see something that is contemporary, because these period pieces are cool, but what about something that's relevant? So I had the idea to have these type of murder mysteries developed. And what I did as a producer is I talked to a very experienced writer, director, producer friend of mine named Gary Hardwick. And Gary wrote and directed and produced the film Deliver Us from Eva, starring Gabriel Union. He also wrote, directed, and produced The Brothers. That was Shamar Moore was in that. He wrote that one too, and he also was like one of the producers on In the House, and he's got a whole bunch of credits. And he's also an established author who writes murder mysteries, but not comedy murder mysteries per se, just basic murder mysteries. So I knew that he would have the ability to do it, and we were friends, so I talked to him, and I shared with him my idea to do these contemporary murder mysteries, and I asked him, would he do one for me? And so he was like, Nina, I really like that idea, because, yeah, you're right, like, there are none that are, like, reflective of that black people are in, and he said, and plus, like, a lot of these plays that are out here, they can be a little boring sometimes. People fall asleep. So he said, I would love to write something fun, comedic and all of that. So I told him the first concept to write one that takes place at a strip club. And so he went out, and like 3 days later, he brought me back this script called Murder at Dick City. Like 3 days later, that's how tight he is with his writing.
Wow. Hey, look, and you know what? And sorry to cut you off, but already just talking about it happening at the strip club, that right there. Because you hit it right on the head. You don't see that. Like, everything when you go to these murder joints, like you say, it's always about either back in the day or a different time period, or the culture's different. But we don't get that, like you say, in the now. Now, I'm crazy. Look, that's crazy. Now, it's going down at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to say that.
So he brought back this piece, and then I read it and, gave some notes. So I say, fine, with us going back and forth and stuff, he finished it total in about a week. And basically the concept is the strip club owner, Steve Cole Stone, he's like a low-down hustler. He's got all kind of businesses, shady businesses, and some legitimate ones too. Right. But he goes to his birthday party, and he dies at his birthday party. So then the next day, which is this play that's going to be on Sunday from 3 to 5, like, it's 7 suspects that come back to his club to pay their last tribute to him. It's sort of like a repast, kind of at the strip club. Right. And so it's 2 of his family members and then his employees. And so then it's a whodunit. And I'm playing his cousin Angela, who's like a over the top wannabe angry black militant. So I have an afro on, and I'm like all super angry and stuff. And then his mom Gertie, played by Niecy Knight Pruitt. Niecy plays in a lot of she's young, but she always plays the mamas in a lot of these gospel plays, because she's a wonderful singer, and she's got the old lady character down to a T. So Niecy and I were in a movie together, and I asked Niecy to do this piece. And so she's playing Gertie, who she's his mom, and she has Alzheimer's, and she's crazy as a bed bug. Right. And so did she do it? She's on these medications. But is it his angry cousin Angela, me, or is it Gertie, his mama, who's crazy as a bed bug and on the meds? Did she kill him? Right. Then we have his bartender, who's the computer nerd, and he's played by Sean Gerardo. And so Sean is like, he's the perfect Jim Carrey character. Like, he's got this nerdy character down to a T. And so did he do it? And then we have his 2 dancers. Donna Lee Heising plays Layla, and she is just absolutely wonderful. She's blonde and she's beautiful.
Right.
And Donna is like the perfect Chrissy. So she plays this airhead bimbo strip dancer. And she's the one who did it because she may be a little too innocent to have not killed Steve. And then we have his Puerto Rican mama, played by my friend Angel Avila. She was in Desperado. She's played in The Star of Mi Vida Loca. If anybody's seen that movie back in the day, it was an award-winning independent film where she played a Mexican chola, but she's in it, and she plays Gina, one of the strippers, and she's like a hot firecracker. So did she do it? Then we have Damien, the bodyguard. You know, you gotta have a mean bodyguard
right
there.
Running the door.
So Rico McClinton, Rico McClinton plays Damien, and Rico was in Battlefield with Rihanna, that big blockbuster movie Battlefield, and he's been on CSI, like just a whole bunch of television shows. But he's playing the bodyguard, and then also I have Richie Lillard, who he's playing the transvestite to me, because you know we got to have a transvestite in there too.
Got to.
So did the transvestite singer who was performing at the club, did she kill Steve Stone? And then we are all interviewed during the course of this play by Detective Monroe. And Detective Monroe is played by Patrick Fawcett, who is, he plays the father on Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have Not. If you guys watch that, he plays the father to Benny Taylor, and his name is Patrick Fawcett. He's playing our Detective Monroe. So all of us have credits. We've been in movies, we've been in TV, and it's just an excellent professional cast, and we're all excited about the opening this weekend.
You know what? I'm just listening to this. I just want to ask, how in the world, and not how, because I know you got your connections, but how did you put together such a heavy cast like that? Just off gate. I mean, because everybody you name, just like you said, everybody you name, I want to say critically, but I'll say credibly acclaimed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you. Hey, I just say it comes from developing relationships and the hard work that I put into it over the years. You said something earlier about paying your dues, and what else did you say after that?
It was paying dues. People got to show respect, and just having that good name for themselves.
Show respect. That's it. By showing respect to others, because I'm no respecter of persons, and I treat everybody kind. Right. Like I said, after I passed my angry period piece in my life, like now I've moved to a point of love and peacefulness and respect, and just by respecting others, being kind to others of all walks of life, whether you're rich or poor, just me. So I've developed these relationships with people over the years where they respect me, they want to work with me, I want to work with them, I respect them. But like Patrick Fawcett, who's in Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have Not, I recently met him, and we were at an event together in Beverly Hills, and a mutual friend of ours, a fellow actor, introduced the two of us. And so Patrick and I exchanged numbers, because, he said, I'm an actor, I said, I'm an actress and a producer, and so forth. So we exchanged numbers, and I thought he would be perfect for the role, so I called him up and told him about the project and sent him the script, and he loved it, and he was like, yeah, count me in. So, again, I think that was the way that I approached him. I was kind, I was courteous, I was serious. He knew I was serious about the business. When I said I'm going to send you the script, I sent it right away,
Right.
And so, you handle your business and be on point, and you can have people work with you if you're on point with this stuff.
And you know what? This production too is just phenomenal. I can't imagine anybody who would have said no. You know what I mean? Just because, I mean, like, listen, just hearing it right off gate, just the idea itself is like, okay, wait a minute, this is hot, and it just sounds so comedic. You know what I mean? You got everybody sitting in there, like you said, well, like, who done it? You know what I'm saying? And then you got the whole scene, and it's new, it's fresh. I'm sitting here wondering. Now let me ask you this: is this just going to be is it just going to be in LA for the time being? Because this needs to go a lot of places. I can see this already going countrywide.
I'm launching launching this for the first time in LA this Sunday at Lavender Blue Restaurant, and I want to give you guys the address for any LA listeners. But in addition to this is the first production. I'm putting it up this one time, and then I do hope to have this ongoing at other venues around the U.S., as well as I am making this into a film. So the next week, on the following weekend, we are shooting this as a movie, so it will be able to be all out to the masses.
Man.
This is too good to not be a really funny comedy movie. If anybody loves to laugh and they love murder mysteries and seeing great characters, then stay tuned for Murder at Big City, the movie, coming to you soon.
Good. You know what? Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, look, I already want to see it real bad. Just myself. And then I could just imagine how many people I know, because listen, like you say, this is something for all walks of life. And that's the next thing about it. So I can just imagine how many people out there are already interested. I know a few people, just people in my family, as a matter of fact, who've heard about that, are interested in seeing it. So I definitely hope that you guys will take it further. Now, Now, kind of going. And make sure you give out the address too, like you say, before you go.
Uh-huh.
Now, so just some things that you were doing before you put together Murder in Thick City. What's some acting or some plays that you did before then?
Yeah, I've been on Melrose stage, on Pacific Palisades. I also was on. I did a few skits on the Keenan Ivory Land show. Yeah. I was recently in a play called Sister Cities, but that was written by Colette Friedman, and I got an excellent review from Backstage for my acting abilities in that. Yeah. In LA Weekly, I'm sorry. And I was in there's a direct-to-DVD, it's on Netflix, called The Power of Love, a video, and it stars Vivica Fox. That came out last year. You can see me in that one. I was also in a film last year called Who's Watching the Kids. Joe Torre is in that, and Elise Neal. That's also out to DVD. I'm in that one as well. But
Nina, you all over
it. You go to internet. Yeah,
you all over the map.
I've been acting for a long time. So.
Yeah, you know what, and not to cut you off, I wasn't stalking you, but in my position I have to do my homework. But I saw you in, because I done seen you in some photo shots with some pretty heavy people. You know what I'm saying? Like so yeah, so you know what I'm saying, I'm looking, I'm like, okay, like, you've really been doing your thing, and you're well recognized and, like you say, well respected too. So kudos to you on that. Absolutely.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you.
No doubt.
Hey, I'm just doing the work. If we put in the work, the opportunities and the doors will open. But we have to show God, we have to show this universe, first and foremost, that we're serious about the business. If you try to take the easy way out, think you're going to sleep your way to the top, or you're going to bribe somebody, or you're going to pay your way to the top, you don't have longevity, and you won't be respected. And it will not last, basically. So you have to pay your dues and work hard. Like 50 Cent said, he was in the studio grinding 24/7 in order to get to where he is. So that's the bottom line. You have to put in the work.
You know what, and Nina, I'm glad that you are saying this. And, I hear this because I hear this a lot. And don't get me wrong, every positive piece of advice is worth hearing. But I'm glad that I'm getting this advice, and the people out there are getting this advice coming from you, coming from somebody from your walk of life that's just really breaking that advice down in a real kind of way that everybody can understand. You know what I'm saying? Because it means a lot. Like you say, it's a 24-hour grind. You can't bribe your way. And listen, in this business that you're in and that I start to get in, it's also a lot of people know each other. You see what I'm saying? So when you're not real, you know what I mean? Or you got that fugazi inside of you, it will come out. And so I think it's important for all the listeners out there to really understand that. Put in your work. Don't be fraud, because you can deal. You can find fictitious people to deal with in that circle for a little while. But once you step into the realm of people who are doing this for real and work hard and people like Nina herself, and I want to say me too. You know, you can't hide it. You know that the fake's gonna come out, so you got to be real. Can we look for any? I know this is probably taking up so much of your time, but I'm assuming, are you able to be working on more than one project at a time, or is it all about Murder in Thick City right now? Or
right now, right this immediate second, it is, and because I'm only like a few days away from showtime, but yes, I do have some upcoming projects, other films that I'm working on, and some TV stuff. I would love to come back and talk at another time,
right,
about it. I don't want to put it out there just yet because we're at the beginning stages of development,
right,
with putting some stuff together. But yeah, I'm talking some television network stuff and some upcoming films and all that, but I have to keep the wraps on it. As well as I am doing some local events out here. I'm one of the producers on the Lamert Park Book Fair, which has been in existence for 6 years out here in Lamert Park. Our goal is to promote literacy to the African American community, and so that event is in August at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. So I'm working on that. I have to finish planning and getting everything together for that. And then also I'm organizing a talent show that's also in Lamert Park that's going to be ongoing. So I'm doing some great upcoming events as well as the film and TV. But I would seriously like to come back and talk about more specifics on those projects.
Hey, look, I would love to have you back. I have to get you back on here, Nina. So as soon as you ready, or I'll be chasing you down anyway, trying to keep up with you. So we'll do that. Look, Nina, it's been amazing talking a minute, Nina. But okay, so yeah, let everybody know where they can get your social media handle at.
Yeah. They can, if you're in the Los Angeles area and you're free on Sunday from 3 to 5, it is going to be at Lavender Blue Restaurant Lounge, which is at 3310 West Manchester Boulevard. That's in Inglewood, California, 90305. You can call for more information. You can call 877-594-1292. And let me see, tickets are $40. They're only $40, which includes the full dinner. You get your choice of baked chicken or baked fish, also a salad, 2 sides, a dessert,
what?
And sweet tea or water. And hey, if anybody has gone to any previous murder mysteries, they always, like those other ones, always charge $75 and $80. That's how much my friend and I paid, was $75. So $40 is an excellent deal for the show and food. And then at 7 o'clock, so the show is from 3 to 5 over dinner, and then at 7 o'clock it's pre-jazz night, so you can stay and listen to jazz. And then also immediately after the show, you can take pictures with the cast. We're going to be on the red carpet, available for photo opportunities with the audience. So again, it's at Lavender Blue Restaurant Lounge, and that's 3310 West Manchester, Inglewood, 90305. You can call 877-594-1294. The ticket directly at murder@bigcitythecomedy.bpt.me. Again, that's murder@bigcitythecomedy.bpt.me.
Okay. And you know what I'm going to do too? What I'm going to do also in a little while, once we hang up, what I want to do is all of that information, the phone number, the website, wherever they can get tickets, I want to plaster that all over the social media on mine as well. So I'm going to make sure I get that information from you. And I also want to go ahead and throw that up to everybody out there listening. We're also going to put that up on the Hotline Radio site for you as well. All right. That way, everybody listening all over the place in New York City right now, because I know it's the weekend, a lot of people getting ready to go out of town for functions and things of that nature. So we're going to put it up on there as well as the social media site. And look, that's a good look. You know, you go, you get you a good meal with the sides. Look, that's what we love, Nina. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go get you a
laugh your butt off.
Yeah.
Your butt off and eat some food.
Man.
And have some free jazz and try to figure out who murdered the Cold Stone.
The strip club shiesty lowdown too, right there. I love it.
Wait, I gotta say one more thing. I cannot leave my girl, Miss Makita Smith, out, aka Sheba. My girlfriend Makita Smith is a publicist, but she also pole dances, and she's my Facebook friend, so she's always posting pole dancing videos of her practicing. So I reached out to her. I was like, Makita, you have got to be a pole dancer in this play that I'm doing. Right. And so she agreed to it. So in between the segments of the play, while the restaurant brings out, like, say, the salads and the main course and stuff, we'll have featured pole dancing by Sheba.
What?
AKA Makita Smith.
Man.
Yeah, she's hot, too. She gonna work that pole very tastefully, I might add. Very tastefully.
Right. So look, look at that. Look, Nina, that takes me back to that good dry 40. Now you ain't going nowhere else. You ain't going nowhere else to get you a good meal. You know, some dancing on the pole, respectively, as you say, and the whole murder theater and the mysteries, and then being able to take pictures like that. So that's a big deal right there. And I got one more question to bug you about too. Am I gonna have? When is this film coming out? How long am I gonna have to? Dag, I mean, because I ain't flying.
I'm gonna get it out as soon as possible within the next couple months. That is my goal, because we're filming it the next Sunday, not this weekend, because that's the play. But then the very next weekend, we're shooting it as a movie. It's gonna be a quick shoot, and then from there, I'm going into editing and getting it out. So I say a couple months pop.
All right, that's what's up. Excuse me. I'll wait. Look, I'm gonna tell everybody out there in Radio Land that I'm gonna wait that long with them to try to get it. I'm gonna see if I can get me my hands on a copy a little sooner. I got to laugh to that one. So I will keep that on the hush though, Nina. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Look, listen, Nina. Listen, it's been a pleasure and it's been an honor, and I want to I want to congratulate you on all the success and wish you so much more. Listen, we on Team Nina, Team Murder Thick City over here. And hey, let's do it. Look, this is gonna be.
Keith, and Andrew, I gotta give you props though, because Keith Harris is the man. He does not play. He's very professional. He reached out to me several times. I've been busy, so I know that he's about the business, taking care of business too. And I have to give him props for that and much respect, because he didn't let it go because I didn't follow up and write him back one time or something like that. He sent me a couple different messages. I'm like, hey, Keith, then I reached out to him. I'm like, hey,
look, Nina was making me mad. She didn't want to get back out. I said, man.
It wasn't intentional. I just been so busy.
I know.
But I'm glad that you did, because you have a wonderful spirit, and I love your grind, and I wish you much success, and you just keep doing what you're doing.
I will, Nina, and look, and I got a lot of respect for what you're doing, and I look at people like you as mentors, and I take knowledge from somebody like you that's been doing this and became so professional in this game. So it's not, for me, it's not just about you being on the show. You know what I'm saying? It's about me having honor for what you do. And look, now I got another teacher. So hey,
yeah, amen.
That's what's up. All right, listen, we love you lots. Make sure, like I said, we're going to make sure we'll talk after this anyway. We'll talk after this when you get a chance and get that information up on the media for everybody to go check out, and make sure everybody out there goes and see it. Everybody, it is the wonderful Nina Womack in the building on the Keith Harris Show on Hotline Radio. In case you just was tuning in afterwards, or you got on late, which you supposed to been here the whole time from 5 o'clock on. But in case you tuned in a little late, this whole conversation will be posted shortly on social media, on Hotline Radio, so you can go back, find out all the information you missed and everything like that, and catch us up again. Nina, do your thing, girl. It's Friday. Handle your business, and look, y'all have a wonderful show out there.
All right. Thanks for having me, Keith. Take care, listeners. God bless.
God bless, Nina.
Bye-bye.
Everybody out there, that was Nina Womack doing her thing. Look, y'all, if y'all out there in the area, go ahead and see that play. I know y'all could already listen to just what it was about, and already it's an amazing idea. And that's something big when an idea is so amazing that right off gate it just sounds like something you want to go see. We don't get that too often nowadays. Remember back in the day, you could hear about something, you like, man, I got to go see that. Well, that's the type of feeling that gave me, and I'm sure all the listeners. So if you out there, or you're gonna be out there in the LA area, make sure you go check it out. Tickets is only $40, and you get a lot for that $40. You can't beat it. We're going to post all that on the social media site once again, so everybody know where to go to. Everybody can go see what's going down with it. All right? You listen to the Keith Harris Show. Big shouts out to Nina and the whole team, the whole staff, everybody involved with Murder in Thick City. Donna Lee, Patrick, Gertie, everybody. I'm calling regular names and character names right now, but just everybody involved with it. Make sure you go show your love and go see them out there. All right? It's a big deal. And that's what's up. And when you see it, also go on to the Hotline Radio website, wearehotline.net, and go leave your comments. Go leave your blogs. You know what I'm saying? Go in there, chat about the show, go back and forth about who you thought did it and you didn't know that person did it, and, you know, so on and so on. That way, if you've seen it, that way, if you done went and seen it too, you can kind of plug some of us in on what's going on. But we look forward to the film and everything else like that. So that's what's up. Yeah, big shouts out to Nina once again. You listen to the Keith Harris Show right here on Hotline Radio, the #1 station on the net. That's how we do.